Hey ManCavians, this is Bob from the Bob's N-Scale ManCave, and today we're doing a review of Broadway Limited's AC6000 in N-Scale. And this is the first Broadway Limited that I've ever reviewed, except for the water tower that I did last year. But this is my first locomotive from them, and I expect to have a nice experience with that, and it should be a pretty good model. So let's go take a look at what I found inside the box. Okay, inside the box, now I've already pulled this locomotive out, as you can probably see right here, and you get this plastic case right here, along with this plastic case right there, and this is so wedged into this it was almost impossible to pull it out. I was pulling and pulling and pulling. I almost had to get a needle nose pliers on this outer sleeve just to get the locomotive out of it. So I didn't want to show you that on camera. But inside, got an ad for these choo-choo shoes for your kids. You shuffle them, they go choo-choo and stuff like that. You get a warranty, 1 year limited warranty right there, and you get an illustrated parts breakdown or exploded view diagram. They don't really have any description of all the parts, but they got numbers and everything else, so if you need a part, you just kind of tell them, well, I want part number 17, and you'll get it. You also have this instruction manual, the operator's manual for this locomotive, and it has lots of little pieces in here on how to use the sounds and CVs and so forth. So we'll take a look at that some more later. Okay, we're going to take a look and see how much this weighs. I have it on ounces right now, and it says 3.8 ounces. Which is 107 grams. Okay, in comparison, I'm going to weigh this Kato number 8444. That weighs 111 grams or 3.9 ounces. So the Kato is heavier than the Broadway Limited, and it's roughly the same size engine. Okay, the AC6000 is currently the world leader in horsepower in a single engine with 6,000 horsepower. That matches the DDA40X, but not in size. It actually is a lot smaller than the DDA40X, but it still has enough horsepower to pull a lot of cars. My first things I notice are that the paint job is pretty good. You've got a lot of exact color in the yellows for this Union Pacific, and it does look fairly accurate. You can see the fuel gauge right here. And you can see all the handrails are fairly solid. I mean, I don't see them move at all. They did a really good job on the handrails. So I know a lot of you people out there have seen handrails that are just really, really flimsy. Not in this case. They're pretty solid. The truck detail looks pretty spot on. You got some sand lines and hydraulics right in here, and it looks pretty good. Got a brake wheel right here in the back. Let's look at the top. As you can see, this radiator grill, it's all pretty accurate. It's not see-through, but that's okay. This is N-scale, and you really can't go see-through without seeing the motor and the body on the inside. I got these exhaust stacks right here, painted silver. The horns painted gray, just like the rest of the top. And you can see a lot of the hatch detail right here. Yeah, the PTC antenna array on top of the cab, and also the top painting right here on the hood. The handrails are tight. Sand filler hatches right on the top on both sides, and you can see the detail in the steps pretty well. On the front you can see the windshield wipers. They're right in here. You also have these side mirrors and window shades. These number boards light up along with the headlight, and these ditch lights. The detail on the MU hoses and the snowplow look pretty good. It's not a Microtrains coupler. I'm not exactly sure. I think they make their own in N-scale for BLI. If you know better than I do, let me know. I'm not. You can actually see inside this crew entry door. You got a window right on the front, and that looks pretty good. We don't see a whole lot of windows on other brands of N-scale. And we got the other side right here, and pretty much the same, except there's no brake wheel on the back. So a little bit different fuel tank look to this side. It's more smooth on this side than it is over on this side. You have a lot more extra stuff over here on this side. The tail end, got a headlight back here. Some non-lit numbers down here along the side, and handrails are good. Probably could have painted a little bit on some of these lines there, but you know, you can do that if you want. Make it a little bit more detailed if you want it to stand out. Paint a little white or something like that, or whatever makes it look more closer to the prototype. And that's about it for this review. I don't see any damage to this locomotive. I heard there's a cab interior, but you can't really see it in here, but I did look closer, and it's got a couple chairs and a couple little painted things on the back. It's not highly detailed. So let's go take a look at operations. Okay, let's start with the sounds. We're going to start this up with F9. Okay, let's start up. And we go with the bell, F1. F2, the horn. There are 4 horns that you can choose from by changing CV224. There's also an alternate horn which can be toggled in place of the main horn by pressing F22. Pressing F3 when the locomotive is moving causes a coupling sound effect to play. The effect simulates 2 cars coupling. I'm not going to play that right now. F4 is compressor and dynamic brakes, and that's only active when the locomotive is moving. Let's try F4 just to make sure. You get a little bit of clicking noise there. Okay. So if you're going to use F5 or F6 to rev up or rev down the engine, it's for a manual adjustment of the sound of the engine when you're going up or down a hill. Normally it does this automatically. So F7 is not functioning on this locomotive, it's for a Mars light. 8, that's a mute of course, and you can adjust the volume of your locomotive just by double pressing the 8. You're going to double click like a mouse, and that's as low as it goes. And you just double click again, brings the volume back up. You get that cha-ching, that means it's the loudest volume it's going to be. Radiator cooling fan, that's function 10. Can't hear that. F11 is air filling and air release. Okay, F12 is the brake set and brake release. When the locomotive is at step 0, which is like this right now, pressing F12 activates the brake sound effect, and then when you have the locomotive above step 0, pressing it again activates the brake release sound effect. F14 is passenger sounds. Pressing passenger sounds F14, you get speaker of announcements of trains leaving and going and coming and going. F15 is freight sounds. F16 to F21 plays one of 4 messages in random order. F16 is maintenance facility sounds. F17 is crew radio messages. F18 is sounds heard in a city. F19 is sounds heard on a farm. F20 is industrial sounds, and F21 is lumber mill sounds. I'm not going to play these right now. F23 is track sounds, but that only happens when you have the locomotive moving. Auxiliary light control, which is F24. This is the auxiliary light control, F24. It turns off your cab light and turns it back on. This is F25, the long whistle. And that's all the sounds. Let's take a look at pulling power. I'll do a couple run-bys. We're going to back this up to this intermodal train. 2 speed steps. Go forward. This is at 5 speed steps. Got 16 cars, some intermodal, and some boxcars. Let's see how this thing pulls up this hill. I'm at speed step 60. Okay. Oh, it's starting to have a wheel slip. It starts getting up this 2% grade. It cannot pull it all the way up. It's only 16 cars. So let's back it up and see what it can pull up. Okay, let's try this again. Get it up to speed here. Get to 60 speed steps again. And this is moving better. Move it up to 70 speed steps. And it's pulling this up with ease. Okay, one thing I've noticed is when you turn it on, the ditch lights come on, right? This is just by pushing the speed control up. And you notice the ditch lights are on, right? Let's start moving it. And the ditch lights go off. I'm not sure why. I thought they were supposed to stay on. Pressing the horn should have turned on the ditch lights, but it don't. This is speed step 4, and it's pulling this up no problem from a standstill. So I can safely say that this is probably around my limit to go up this helix. It's not a very good puller from what I can see right here. Okay, earlier I couldn't get the ditch lights to come on and stay on and actually operate. Come to find out that in NCE I had all these buttons pushed and activated, and I didn't know which ones were which, and so I was toggling things on and off, and nothing really worked. So I figured out how to clear them, and this is what the ditch lights look like when it is operating. If you want to see how to clear these, you must plug your Pro Cab into one of the cables. And down here at the bottom, you press this exponent or expansion button, and you'll get a list, 1 through 28. Right now we have number 8 and number 9 selected, and after that little tick mark there, that's function keys above that. So I had number 4, 5, 6, and 7 all pushed on the lower row, which was like, 22, or 24, 25, so on and so on. Well, F24 is used to adjust your auxiliary lighting, like your cab light and your ditch lights if you have it on there. So that's how you do it. And then you just press any other button, probably your escape key, or you can press and toggle the expansion key and it'll take you back to your main display. Okay, I turned the lights off so that you could see the headlights and the cab lights while it's sitting still. Now, as you can see, there's a little bit of light bleed due to some errors in painting. Right below this number board right here, you see a little dot of light? Yeah, that shouldn't be there. Let's take a look at the other side, because I don't see anything else other than that little piece right there. I don't see too much that is ugly. Let's take a look at the back. Okay, as you can see in reverse, there's some bleed through right here. I'm going to stop it. The lights go dim for reverse, a little faster, and it goes up. Okay, that's just another error area. When they painted it, they didn't get it thick enough right in there, and so you get a little bit of bleed through the paint. What I would probably suggest is taking this cab off, or this whole cover, and going in and painting on the inside some black paint, make that not see-through anymore. There you go, ManCavians. That's been my review of the BLI AC6000 in N scale. It's a very nice model. It's got great sound, 2 speakers in the bottom, right in here in the fuel tanks, and the Paragon sound for Rolling Thunder would probably sound awesome if I had that, but I don't, and I don't really plan on getting it, so I just don't need it in this really small room. Some problems, you know, got a little bit of weak paint on the front underneath the number board and underneath the radiator grill over here when you get the reverse lights on and so forth. But other than that, that's easily fixable. If I really want to fix it, I can take off the cab, the whole top, and paint the inside and make it black. So awesome sounds. You know, I had some issues trying to figure out the sounds on my DCC system. Once I figured out what I was doing wrong, things started working better, and it wasn't so confused. Especially the ditch lights, it just didn't seem to want to stay on. But with all that being said, I really enjoy the model. I like it. The MSRP is a little high, but I got this at $174 at modeltrainstuff.com. You can probably find it anywhere between that and roughly $210, dollars, somewhere in there. So depending where you shop, of course. So shop around. Don't want you to pay more than you need to. So I give it a thumbs up, and it's going to be a good addition to the ManCave, and give you some extra sound that I haven't really had on the layout before. So I'm going to be looking at BLI a little bit more closely next time, and maybe not pass it up as fast. Till next time, ManCavians, happy model railroading. Stay off the tracks. So if you like what you saw here today, go ahead and click subscribe down here below, or follow my Facebook, Google+, Twitter, and my Instagram, links down here below in the comments. Also, click on one of my other links for videos as well. As always, ManCavians, happy model railroading. Stay off the tracks. Bye.